listening to the club station of the Sandton Amateur Radio Club, known as ZS6STN. And your newsreader this morning is Mike Barth, is ZS6XYZ. This club bulletin is broadcast every Sunday at 0845 on the following frequencies: 145.700 megahertz FM in the 2-meter band, 7115 kilohertz lower sideband in the 40-meter band. That's a relay this morning courtesy of ZR6DX. Noel, thank you very much. The other place we go out is on Echolink on the ZS6STN node, which is 901594. Let's now move on to the regular features, starting with the highlights from the SARL Bulletin. The first one being the SARL Hamnet 40-meter contest this afternoon. This SSB contest runs from 1200 to 1400 UTC this afternoon, and you can participate as a single operator, stationary mobile, a single operator field station, a multi-operator field station, or a single operator base station. The exchange is an RS report, followed by a 3-figure number as per category, starting with the stationary mobile starting at 201. It goes through all the various other ways of going out, and then it's also then got a serial number. You can submit your logs by Friday the 8th of March. The rest of it you can read in the on the main SARL website. The next item, and one I need to make a good note of, but the next item is the 2024 ICASA license fees. Please take note that it is your responsibility to pay your license fee directly to ICASA. The new fee structure is a 1 year at starting at 188 Rand, and it goes all the way up to 5 years at 784 Rand. The SARL highly recommends that you pay for the 5-year license. This ensures that you have a valid license for the next 5 years. Payment must be made via EFT directly to ICASA using the account that is on the website, and then also your license number. If your license is managed by the SARL, please follow the instructions as emailed to you by Noel, ZR6DX. All other license holders must log into their account on the ICASA customer portal and click Manage button and then Review button. And then you select the number of years for the license period you want to pay for. The ICASA system will then send you an invoice, and or you can click on Invoice, and the invoice can be downloaded. You then pay the invoice. There's a button to pay, or you can send EFT. The SARL cannot help you if the ICASA customer portal is slow or not responding. The SARL, just to note, the SARL has nothing to do with the ICASA system, which is a government system of the State Information and Technology Agency. Be patient and try in the evenings or early mornings. The next item is the March 2024 Radio ZS. The March 2024 issue of Radio ZS was uploaded to the SARL website on the 27th of February. You should go to Publications and then click Radio ZS to download. We can tell you that Morse code is alive and well at KPH, and we show you how to simulate a CW Kia using an Arduino Nano. The Northern Cape Amateur Radio Club found an article about a helical beam for 40 meters. We look at a simple vertical antenna with spiral counterpoise, a spirally loaded copper tape PVC dipole, and Kevin ZR2BK explains how to replace the polarized film on an ICOM 706 Mark IIG. Then there's Chris ZS6EZ, who tells of his trip to the United Kingdom, and Martin PT2DX made an incredible find at a flea market in Brazil. Many other good stories within it, so please download your copy today. The next item is an event that's coming up is to celebrate International Women's Day with a special event. The Young Ladies Radio League, YLRL, is hosting International Women's Day, while parked on the air, POTA party from 0000 to 23:59 on Friday the 8th of March. International Women's Day is a global day celebrating the social, economic, cultural, and political achievements of women. This year's theme is Inspire Inclusion. To celebrate the day, the goal of this special event is to activate any Toyota park during the 24-hour event window using a mode and frequency with your license class. Contacts can be submitted to the Toyota database. You can read the rest of the information on it on the SARL website. We'll move on to the club news section of the main bulletin, but that also includes quite a bit from our club. The first one, the ZS6STN team, spent Sunday the 25th of February out at the Bryanston High site in Johannesburg doing maintenance and upgrades to the repeaters. Maintenance was done around the site, and now we reach the radio cabinet without needing a panga to fight off jungle bushes and snakes. A new 4-stack UHF antenna array has been installed on the 438 350 MHz DMR repeater. The 145 700 MHz VHF repeater's antenna has been raised a few meters higher, and the 438 800 MHz UHF repeater is back online and working very well. A new site monitoring and remote access control system has been installed, which advises of issues and enables battery management during load shedding. The aircraft monitoring system has been set up and configured on a new portal at Echolink, vhf.stn.org.za. There is also another awesome service currently undergoing testing and will be communicated soon. We invite all to please make use of the repeaters, and that is what they are there for. The next bit from ZS6STN, contest news. The ZS6STN says it's time. With only 1 week to go to the SARL National Field Day weekend, 9th and 10th of March, it is time to finalize your plans, which must include switching on your radio. Will you be operating from your QTH, running a field station, or helping to operate a club station? ZS6STN will be out in the field, so whatever your plans are, make contact and have a QSO. It's awesome fun during an awesome weekend sharing the adventure. As a reminder that peers will be running 2 stations for the combined SARL Field Day and SARL FM VHF UHF contest on 9th and 10th of March. ZS2PE will be operating at the Walmer School in Port Elizabeth. Other station at Kruger Wilderness Mountain Range will have a special call sign of ZS2 VHF. The special call sign will only be active for this contest. That ZS2 VHF will also be active as a SOTA peak and as a POTA station. So make sure you don't miss out working the station during that contest. The field day takes place from 800 UTC on Saturday the 9th of March, 10 o'clock UTC Sunday the 10th of March, with CW phone activity on 160, 80, 40, 20, 15, and 10 meters. The first leg of the VHF UHF contest runs from 800 UTC on Saturday the 9th, also to Sunday the 10th of March, 10 o'clock UTC. And activity on 6 and 2 and 70 centimeters. So yes, they do run at the same time. Then the first leg of the 2024 Youth on the Air contest runs from 10 o'clock to 21:59 UTC on Sunday the 10th of March, with CW and phone activity on 80, 40, 20, 15, and 10 meters. And all the different rules and info on the contest can be found on the SARL website. Then finally, I move on to propagation report. Hannes Kutsia, ZS6BZP, reports that solar activity is expected to be at the low to moderate levels. There are currently 7 sunspot regions visible with some simple to complex magnetic configurations. There's a high probability of C-class and a moderate probability of M-class solar flares. If you want to do your own frequency predictions, the expected effective sunspot number for the week will be around 114. The 10 to 30 meter bands will, especially during the morning and late afternoon, provide some good DX fun. For more information, please visit the website spaceweather.sansa.org.za. So now I'd like to move on to some club news, and I'd like to call in Keith, ZS6HI, for a report back on some of the club activities. This is the ZS6STN standing by for ZS6HI to take over the mic.
Good morning, Mike. Good morning to all the listeners on frequency. I hope I'm coming through well. Yeah, so let's just go through a couple of the activities that have been happening, and you may also have noticed in the bulletin themselves, we did mention some of the activities there. But it is always pretty exciting when we're coming up to the SARL Field Day weekend on the 9th and 10th of March. So that is an opportunity for us to get out in the field, for members to come out and visit, have a braai with us in the afternoon for those that are contesting, and bring your families. There's a beautiful pool out there, there's good pollutions, and it's a bit of a drive out there, but it is a lovely part of the country that you need to visit and come out there and say hi. Or you can come out early on the Saturday the 9th and you can help erect some of the antennas, because that's what the team will be doing on the 9th. So a big thank you to the contest team who will be flying the flag for ZS6STN, and let's have a wonderful weekend of radio. And yes, as the bulletin mentioned, it requires you to switch your radio on, so you don't have to come out to the site if you're unable to do so. That's the Sleepy River Caravan Park in Magalies, the Magalies Sleepy River Caravan Park. But if you're not able to get out, please do switch your radio on and make a contact with ZS6STN. There'll be a lot of activity going on over that weekend for the SARL National Field Day weekend. Then we must mention that there's going to be a committee meeting this coming Wednesday on the 6th of March. So the committee are going to get together over Zoom and have another committee meeting and plan the next few events. The RAE is on the go, so I don't know if Samir is on frequency, but if he is, I would love Samir, the ZS6EDC, to come in and just give a view on what's happening with the RAE. Then on the 14th of April, we are planning a fox hunt, and that'll be followed immediately by a club social bring and braai. So please do put the 14th of April into your diaries now. It's a Sunday, and I think what we'll probably do is have the fox hunt from 11:30 on the Sunday the 14th, and then at about 1 o'clock we will have the club social bring and braai. So you don't have to be a fox hunter if you don't wish to, or if you're struggling to find the fox. We will announce the venue for the Club Social Bring a Braai, and it will not be far away, so you can always join us at the Club Social Bring a Braai, whether or not you are fox hunting or finding the fox. Hi, hi. Then on the 6th of April is the Autumn QRP contest, and that's at 1400 UTC in the afternoon. That's a Saturday afternoon. And as we are sponsoring the QRP contest, it would always be awesome to have as many Santonites out there playing radio during the QRP contest. Remember, you don't have to be QRP. You can be full power if you want to, but then you will be considered to be a chaser and not a QRP contester. But there are prizes for both the chasers and the QRP contesters. So do consider putting that in your diary, the 6th of April at 1400 to 1600 UTC. Remember, there are multiple modes you can play with, FT8, JS8, phone, and CW. And if you play with all four, then you can potentially stand in running to be the QRP champion. So please do consider putting that in your diary. And I know that recently we've had a tech talk on the 28th of February, Wednesday the 28th of February, given by Stuart, a ZR6 Whiskey Tango. I hope Stuart is out there listening and give us a little bit of feedback on how the tech talk went. But from my feedback that I've received, I was not able to unfortunately participate in this particular one, but it went well with about 15 people on channel, all learning about JS8 call. So would like to now, well, I'll hand over to Stuart in a little while, And then the next Tech Talk is on Wednesday, the 27th of March, in the evening at 7 o'clock in the evening. So please put that into your diaries now as well. Wednesday, 27th of March. The Bulletin did give you a little bit of feedback on the high site. So that work was done last Sunday. So try it out. Try out the UHF repeater. It's working very, very nicely. The DMR has got a new 4-stack antenna on it, raised quite high. So give the DMR a try. And the VHF antenna has also been raised a little bit higher as well. So we would value your feedback on how these antennas are all working, how these repeaters are all working. So please do send your feedback to info@ZS6STN.org.za. We really would value your feedback. Yesterday was the car boot sale at the West Rand Amateur Radio Club, and I did see a number of Sandtonite members there. So thanks for coming through, and it's always a great social event at the car boot sales. And then birthdays. Let me just go through the birthdays for the next period. Grant Butler is having a birthday on the 3rd, which is today. Bradley Mostert is having a birthday on the 7th. So those are the birthdays taking place in the next week. It's Grant Butler on the 3rd. Happy birthday, Grant. And Bradley Mostert on the 7th. ZR6 Whiskey Tango, ZS6HI.
ZS6HI 06WT Division 1. Good morning, Keith. Morning, Mike, and everyone else on frequency. We had the Tech Talk. I think it went down pretty good, and there were some experienced users there who asked some subtle questions about the protocol or the use of it. So, which I think I managed to answer correctly. I think it went well. We went through all the sort of fancy features of relaying messages via other stations if you couldn't hear your destination station, and even storing a message at a particular station for later retrieval if the station that you intended to send it to was not on frequency at the time. So I think there are a lot of nice features in JSA Call that people don't probably realize. It's not simply messaging from one station to another station. But having said that, I've got to say VARAC seems to be taking over JSA Call. It seems to be more popular lately in South Africa. You don't find many people on JSA Call at the moment. But I'm definitely going to get my station working. It used to be running 24/7 in Joburg, and I'll have it running here as well. And maybe that will encourage some new activity in JSA Call. While in Joburg, I used to pick up quite a few stations in the Cape, and that's on HF 40 meters, so it's definitely doable. And that was at 5 watts too, with my QDX. Anyway, back to you, Keith. ZS6HI, this is ZR6WT.
Thank you very much for giving that feedback on the Tech Talk. Thank you for being our guru on JSA Call there, Stuart. Awesome this is, I think, the second one you've given to the amateur radio community in South Africa. So well done on that, and you coming through fine from the Western Cape there. Okay, let me hand it back to Mike. I think, Mike, that's probably enough for now. You will find that the dipole will be distributed very, very soon as well. Just putting the finishing touches onto the Fox Hunt and Social, which will be taking place on the 14th. But everybody, please do remember, next weekend is the 9th and 10th of March. That'll be the National Field Day, and we would love to see you out there at the Magalies Sleepy River Caravan Park. It's a wonderful day. It's outing, and you can join us for a bring and braai. On the Saturday, there is a shop there at the site where you can buy ice creams. There's a beautiful swimming pool. There's lovely ablutions and a great big field where we can erect all of our antennas. So it's bound to be awesome. You can join us for the day, or you can come out for the entire weekend. There will be a number of us out there doing the contest, so it will be lots of fun. Back to you, Mike. ZS6STN, and this is ZS6HI.
Yeah, thank you very much for that, Keith. This is ZS6XYZ taking back over the mic of ZS6STN and the Bulletin. For my little slot on radio-related stories or news. And this morning's one is a little article called 3 Similarities Between Ham Radio and Jiu-Jitsu by Michael Major. This can also be true for most martial arts. I read his article. I'm a Jiu-Jitsu practitioner and an amateur radio operator. You might be wondering how someone can go from tinkering with radios and antennas to actively attempting to strangle people unconscious. The truth is that these two hobbies share a fair amount in common, surprising even for me. They're both hobbies with no end. One of the aspects of amateur radio I love is that it is impossible to get bored. There's lots of space in the frequency spectrum to play in, tons of projects to build, contests to win, and modes to use or invent. You can talk around the world with your voice using digital modes, Morse code, slow scan TV, work satellites, bounce radio waves off the moon and back to Earth, or enjoy the hobby in a plethora of other ways. Jiu-Jitsu, on the other hand, is a martial art where the learning never ends. Every move and technique can be improved and refined. Every role has a lesson to teach, and every opponent has a new set of problems to solve. It doesn't matter what color your belt is, Jiu-Jitsu always has something to teach us. In both of these pursuits, there is no perfection, no end, no point where you've done it all and conquered every obstacle. Anyone who says they have learned every aspect of ham radio or Jiu-Jitsu is either a liar or delusional. The next point he raises is they attract a certain type of human. The people who decide to pursue Jiu-Jitsu are the types of people who thrive on challenges. These people come from every walk of life and background, but all share in the same drive to figure out how to choke the other people unconscious in new and inventive ways. Ham radio challenges the mind, while Jiu-Jitsu challenges both the mind and body. In some cases, ham radio also challenges the body. For example, Summits on the Air, SOTA, involve ham radio operators climbing to the peak of a mountain to set up a radio antenna and to make as many contacts as possible for points and ham radio street cred. Neither pursuit is easy or straightforward, and it is what we love about it. The drive to tackle new and intriguing conundrums attracts a person with a particular mindset who may be considered a tad bit on the nerdy side or of the coolness spectrum. And his last point, technical proficiency is key. When I'm trying to learn a new technique on the mats, I'm amazed at how all the little details add up to being able to pull off a move successfully. From the angle of my body is into relation of my opponents to where I'm grabbing a hold of them. Dozens of little things need to fall into place to make everything work. In many ways, this is the most challenging part of Jiu-Jitsu for me. Getting every step of the component correct while someone actively tries to prevent me from doing it is difficult at best, but usually borders on impossible. To successfully make contact with a ham radio, you need to do more than simply dial in the correct frequency. Antennas must be tuned correctly, digital interfaces configured, radio settings optimized, and the state of the iosphere considered. It might be that my interests are so diverse that I am an outlier in my dual pursuits of ham radio and Jiu-Jitsu. However, they are hobbies that share these 3 things in common, to the point where I'm certain many people who partake in one hobby would also enjoy the other. Okay, so that was quite a nice, interesting article I read the other day. Thank you to everyone out there for listening this morning, and please feel free to give any comments that you may have. Thank you to the stations that help out on a regular basis with our relays, recordings, rebroadcasts, and those who contribute to the content from time to time. Join us again next Sunday at 0845 Central Africa time for the regular bulletin of the Sandton Amateur Radio Club. And at the same time, the field day will be running. This is ZS6STN, operated by ZS6XYZ, saying 73 and 88 to all our listeners. We now relinquish all frequencies for general use.